Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
You're watching 7 at 7, powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the largest news team in Nevada.
A bill aimed at improving emergency preparedness in Nevada high schools is one step closer to becoming law. Good Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to 7 at 7. I'm Cynthia Puga. Let's get into your business news, brought to you by G-Bank, your best banking experience ever. Home sales across the country are being canceled at elevated rates, and deals in Las Vegas are getting nixed more often than in most metro areas. Redfin reports across the U.S., roughly 56,000 home purchase agreements were canceled in April. Redfin ranked Las Vegas 8th on its list of metro areas with the highest home cancellation rates last month. 18.6% of home sales never went through in the Las Vegas Valley.
And what we've seen is that the home sales cancellation rate in Southern Nevada has actually been higher than the national average since at least 2017.
Redfin says buyers are skittish for several reasons, including economic and political uncertainty, increased inventory, which has given house hunters more choices, and sticker shock as mortgage rates and home prices remain high. A long-shuttered golf course in Las Vegas with a history of bankruptcies and deterioration is auctioned off. The Silverstone golf course property was sold at a Clark County Treasurer's Office trustee auction on May 8th for the minimum bid of nearly $2.8 million. This is according to county officials. A county spokesperson says the buyer's name will become public once the sales deed is recorded, which will happen within 30 days of the auction or by June 8th. The sale marks a new chapter for a golf course that has been closed for nearly a decade, saw its boarded-up clubhouse destroyed in a fire by suspected arsonists, and whose now outgoing owner pushed the property into bankruptcy protection twice. Moving on to top stories, the son of an Italian restaurant founder who police say threatened to carry out a shooting inside the eatery has made a no-contest plea to a charge of harassment. According to Metro Police, 46-year-old Evan Glusman borrowed $1.5 million against the business and reportedly texted the manager he was going to get a gun and kill them in the middle of the restaurant. He was arrested in April. Glusman's father told police he suspended his son after he defrauded the business, which made the son, quote, extremely irate. Glusman has been ordered to undergo 2 to 4 weeks of inpatient treatment, stay away from the restaurant and his father, and not use controlled substances. On Tuesday, Glusman's defense attorney said his client admitted to no wrongdoing in his state adjudication case and declined to say why Glusman would be receiving treatment. A judge has scheduled a hearing to question jurors in the jailhouse battery trial of Dwayne Davis after his attorney raised claims of juror misconduct. Davis was found guilty in April of counts of battery by a prisoner and challenging someone to a fight with another inmate back in December. Sentencing was set for Tuesday, but the district judge decided to subpoena all jurors from the battery trial after the defense attorney says one of them spoke improperly about the case, violating court instructions. CCSD has a new policy on what graduating students can wear to ceremonies after a judge's ruling. District officials say graduating seniors can wear up to 5 stoles and flat decorations and adornments on caps and gowns during spring ceremonies. The move came one day after a federal judge made an emergency ruling after a lawsuit was filed earlier this month by the ACLU and a high school senior. That lawsuit said an earlier CCSD graduation regalia policy unfairly required students to obtain prior approval from school officials to wear certain items. Let's get into your weather, sponsored by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every blooming thing. Wednesday morning starting off with warm temperatures in the 80s, hitting the 90s by noon and climbing to right around 99 degrees by 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be seeing a high around 102 degrees on Thursday, and then temperatures climbing 10 to 15 degrees above average. The National Weather Service issuing an extreme heat watch for Friday and Saturday, with temperatures climbing well into the triple digits. So make sure you're staying hydrated, stay out of the sun if you can, and check on your neighbors if possible.
Sports brought to you by Station Casinos, STN Sports. Download the app today. I'm Heidi Fang, and Raiders punter A.J. Cole has come to terms with the team on a contract extension that will make him the highest paid punter in the NFL, according to a person familiar with the situation. Cole's new deal is said to be for 4 years and $15.8 million with $11 million in guarantees. The 29-year-old has been one of the league's top performers since making the Raiders roster as an undrafted free agent in 2019. The three-time Pro Bowlers averaged 50.8 yards per punt last season, which ranked second highest in the league. Sports betting brought to you by the Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. There will be no laptop gate at this year's World Series of Poker, now underway at the Horseshoe Las Vegas and Paris Las Vegas. Jonathan Tamayo's victory at last year's World Series of Poker main event was almost overshadowed by controversy at the final table, leading to rules being changed. Tamayo went to the rail and consulted with friends and coaches when he was not in hand throughout the final table. Information was relayed to Tamayo from one of his coaches who appeared to be running poker software on a laptop. This year, the new rules prohibit players from receiving coaching and from using real-time electronic assistance tools during tournament action.
In your health news, brought to you by Centerwell Senior Primary Care. Discover primary care focused on you. A bill aimed at improving emergency preparedness in Nevada high schools is one step closer to becoming law. Assembly Bill 454, known as the Smart Heart Law, passed the Nevada State Senate with a unanimous vote. Championed by a top Vegas cardiologist, the effort was inspired by the tragic passing of a teen who collapsed during a football game last year. The legislation requires all high school athletic venues to have automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, on site ready to use within 3 minutes. If passed, this would make Nevada one of the few states to require AEDs and cardiac emergency protocols at every high school sports facility. In your Neon Lifestyle news, sponsored by Arizona Charlie's, has live entertainment every weekend at both locations. Go to ArizonaCharlies.com to see who's playing. It's the new bar in Henderson that's alive with dead things inside. The Gray Witch is located at 722 West Sunset Road, and it's decorated with bookshelves and antique Gothic furniture, as well as taxidermied animals mounted on its walls. Local bar owner Russell Gardner says the Gray Witch will host live bands, but on a larger scale, with an adjoining music venue separate from the main room. Garage rock legends the Detroit Cobras will christen the club tonight during the bar's grand opening starting at 7 p.m. A host of other touring acts have also been booked. Country singer Kenny Chesney launches his residency at the Sphere over the Memorial Day weekend, making him the first country act to play the venue. LVRJ Neon columnist John Katsilometes tells us more.
Kenny Chesney has proven that country will work in the Sphere. The country superstar has opened his No Shoes Nation residency, and it will run through June 21st. You'll see a lot of elements in the Sphere that will remind you of such shows as U2 and the Eagles, and even Dead & Company, but it's all country flavored for Chesney, who is performing a total of 15 shows. This opens up the possibility that other country superstars can make a production in the Sphere. People like Garth Brooks, for example, and even Jason Aldean are among those who could probably run a show inside the Bulbous Wonder.
That's it for your AM News update. Tune in to 7 at 7 weekdays at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. to get the latest Las Vegas news updates.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Knock the Injury Law.